aboard. Okay, I'm recording and all. Here we go. Let's take a look at this together. Actually, I hope you'll find this unit not too bad either. The other one wasn't too bad. This one's maybe less technical math, but it's reasonable. So, preparing to make a budget. Two things to consider here. What's your source of income? Are you paid the same amount each month? Meaning, if you're working a regular job where you're paid $15 an hour and you get 40 hours a week, you're paid the same amount every month, more or less, right? As a teacher, I'm paid the same amount every month. If you're a salesperson, though, and you work on commission, you don't make the same amount every month. If you're a car salesman, you might have a good month, then a crappy month. You make hardly anything. Or if you work as a handyman, a carpenter, or something like that, you might be really busy in the summer, and then the winter things slow down. You don't make the same thing each month. That's actually where it's really important to budget, because you got to save up for your winter if things dry up. Okay. The next thing, what are your reoccurring expenses? What payments or bills do you see every month? Gas, power. When I say gas, I'm talking natural gas for heat. Gasoline for your truck, car payments, those kind of things. Cell phones. Some of your bills will vary from month to month. For example, your water bill, some will go up or down $10, $15 maybe. But you'll know the general range. Also, there'll be unexpected expenses from time to time. All of a sudden your car blows up. You got a big bill. You got to take that into account if you're trying to make a go of it in this world. Now let's just take a look here. This first exercise is fairly simple here. Janice has the following income and expenses during the past month. Identify income and expense and say is it regular or variable, meaning it changes. And the expenses as reoccurring, like every month over and over again. Variable or totally unexpected. Now, sometimes we call something unexpected, but you should. My car, for example, is a 2001, so it's 14 years old. I do expect it to blow up someday, so I'll have a new expense. I'll have to buy a car, but I'm going to drive her into the ground. So it's an unexpected expense. However, I'm planning on it probably breaking down. I hope to get another couple of years out of it so I can give it to my son, and he can have it break down on him. Anyways, let's go through this. Your paycheck. Now, first of all, is this incoming income or an expense? Paycheck. Let's just go through this. Okay, come on. It's income. I'm going to just put income. And would you think that's regular? Yeah, because I look down, I see the next paycheck is $500 as well, right? So we're going to call that income, and it's regular. Gas. $34.86. Let's take a look here. Gas. Well, it's definitely an expense, right? Now, would you say that's the expenses are reoccurring, variable, or unexpected? Now, it's definitely not unexpected. You drive a car, you know you're going to have to fill up the tank. What is that one then? It's not unexpected. Is it reoccurring or variable? Reoccurring, if you're driving the same kind of way every week, you're more or less, I'd call it a reoccurring expense. For example, I drive here to school and just a little bit to get groceries around town. My driving habits don't change too often. So we can call that reoccurring. It might be $34.86 this time. The next time it might be $42 if the gas prices go up a lot or something like that, right? But it's reoccurring, a variable expense though. Would you guys, you know what I'm talking about there? We'll call it variable. Do you guys follow why we call it variable though? Because it is reoccurring, but we're going to call it a variable expense. Because it will change. Maybe one time you take a trip an hour out of the city, so your next time you fill up gas, it'll be even more, right? Cell phone bill, definitely an expense. Now, typically, depends what kind of plan you have, but you can usually choose a plan so you pay the same amount every month. So we'll say that that's reoccurring. I don't know from this list if that's the person's one price covers most things, like unlimited texting and stuff like that. We'll call it recurring. New boots. I'd say you don't buy new boots every month unless you're crazy. Some people do. Oh, he says. Anyways, so we'll call that unexpected or whatever. Like it's not happening every month anyways, that's for sure. Well, not for sure, but not in my world. Oh, I didn't put expenses on first. So, unexpected. I didn't spell expected right there. My E slashed into my D, but whatever. I think you guys are getting the idea here. Now, paycheck, we already did that, income, and it's regular. Keep working, you get a regular paycheck. Birthday gift from grandparents. Not totally unexpected, but it's not every month.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have a birthday every month. Income, but unexpected. Or variable, I guess we'll call this one. A gift. Loan payments. That would be, usually it's a reoccurring payment. So it's an expense and it's reoccurring. Just put that down. New hard hat for work to replace your lost one. That's unexpected expense. Lastly, eating out. Definitely an expense. Now, most people would plan to eat out a couple times in a month, right? I'll call it a variable expense because, you know. Now, this person, Janice, obviously doesn't live on her own. How can I just tell by looking at her expenses? It's not that expensive. What would be expected in here? She's probably living with her parents or something. There's no rent, there's no electricity, groceries, exactly. So this is probably a high school student kind of thing, or university student, right? Or maybe just a kid who's working at home, or like working and staying at home, 20 years old. It's too expensive to move out on your own and actually get a decent place. It's hard to get a decent place. Heck, I'm glad I got a house, what was it, about 12 years ago I bought a house or whatever. The prices are sky high now, right? Anyways. Okay, do we understand what this is all about, I think? This is fairly simple. So, what I'm going to do is get you guys to try those. Yeah. You know what? Let me just see here.
You need to calm down.
I need to calm down. Why? Too fast? Yeah, I know you're kidding. Let's see here with old Carlos here. Example 2, I'll do this as. I said your turn, but I'm going to do it. Carlos made a list of all his expenses and income for a month. So, it's $539 twice a month. That's his income. His expenses, now this guy lives on his own, or with someone, but $445, because that's definitely not rent for yourself. Food, about $200 there almost. Entertainment, $80-ish. Utilities, $45. Transport, $75. Clothing, $73. I'm rounding off. Cell phone bill is about $50 a month. Miscellaneous, $25. That's not a lot for miscellaneous. It could be anything. Who knows what? Chewing gum, other stuff. Yeah, chips and stuff. Okay, let's see these things. So, he plans to put any extra income into a savings account. How much money does he have to put into savings at the end of that month? Well, we could just quickly add this up. 539.92 Tell you what, guys, I'll use the, I got it written on here, so I'm going to add it up for you. So the total here, so I'm adding those up. What do I got here? 1079.84. That's all of his income. Total expenses, you'd add that up, right? Yeah, you would, I would too, and I'll add it up for you, 985.90. I do the work right on the chart. Why rewrite all those things to add them up? So how much could he put into savings?
That's a 985.
Yeah, that's a 985. Yeah. You just subtract the two and you find what he has left over. It's not a lot. 1079.84. Forget the dollar sign. When you subtract those two, and I don't remember the answer there. Yep.
You just subtracted all of those from the
Yeah.
total?
You bet I did.
Okay.
Does it make sense why though? The income,
That
yeah,
makes sense why.
and what you spend is expenses. What was it again? 93.94. At the end of the month, he's almost $100 that he hasn't spent. If you're trying to save for something, though, that's going to take a long time. That's not a lot of savings, but it's something. You're way worse off if you don't have anything at the end of the month. Now, if you assume that this is his budget and it's a pretty good budget for a month, and he's going to be paid the same, he's going to keep working, how would you figure out how much he saves over a year? Times that by 12. 93.94 times 12. So. That, what is that? 1,127. 28 cents. Now, what does that buy a big time wise? Yeah, not a lot. You could get a crappy car for $1,000 though, but then you can't put plates on it for that price.
Could the following please come down to the office?
We'll see.
Catherine Gino, Thomas Wolofson, Mark Rain, Braden Birdie, Brianne Collins, Riley Orchard, Karine Goforth, David Nelson, Holden Isnano-Fotomic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, where was it? Just taking a look though, because this guy ain't saving that much in a year. $1,000 is not after a year. You can't buy it like $1,000.
You want a trip somewhere?
You could. Smaller trip, but yep, you could. Trip to Saskatoon. I don't know, take a plane.
$5 gas.
Yeah. Now, just take a look at his income in a month. $1,000. Is this guy working full time? Do you think? No, because minimum wage is a little over $10 now. What is it? $10.40 or $10.60? I don't know what it is. If you work 40 hours a week, gross wage, 40 hours a week, yeah, it'd be about $400. So that'd be $1,600. But then there's deductions on here. At $1,600, I doubt he'd have 600 something. He could work more if he wants to make a little more. Even at minimum wage, he'd save a little more. But he won't. Just because he grosses $1,600 doesn't mean he'll save $1,600. What percentage of his income does his savings represent? So how do we do percentages, guys? I'm going to do C down here. Well, his total income in a month was $10.79. 84. And this is C. His savings in a month is 93. Now, if I'm saying he's got $93 of savings out of $1,000, roughly estimating, $1,000 of total income, How do you find the percentage? What's a percent out of?
100.
Yeah, so it's out of 100. You guys know how to do the magic here, right? There's one thing you learned. It's cross multiply, divide by the loaner, ain't it?
Call me loaner.
I'm calling you the loaner. Now, I've worked it out. 8.7%. Round it off. Okay?
Could the following students please come down to the office? Colton Magoo, Savannah Luce, Samuel Luce, Diane Luce, Daphne Luce, Carolyn Liang, Tori LaRosse.
The list goes on, eh? This is the time of year where they're checking up if you're registered for the right classes, I think. So D. Good old Carlos here, he hopes to buy a new computer in a year. He expects it'll cost $1,500. How much more would he need to save per month to be able to afford that? How could he do that? So first of all, let me see here. $1,500 is what he needs at the end of the year, right? So where would you get $1,500 from out of 12 months? We got to divide this, eh? So D. If he wants $1,500 after a year, you're gonna have to divide that into 12 months, right? And that's $125. Trust me, it is. So then what? That's how much he needs per month to save that. And he's only saving $93.94 in a month. So how much more would he needs? How much, what would we call this? I'm just trying to say. Needs, how much more he needs to save? Yeah, I guess. We'll just subtract and then say that afterwards, I guess. 125 is what he needs every month, and he's only saving 94. When you subtract those two, you get $31.06. You need that much more in savings every month, right? Now, not that you need to write this down, but if this is your budget, where could he come up?
We have Nolan Brown, Dayton Watson, Abigail Goulet, Stephanie Grenier, Sarah Koskinen, and Emma Stern.
Okay. Where could he cut down on his expenses probably, realistically? Now, entertainment's $50 a month. That's not a lot for entertainment, is it? Well, $47.95 he spent. I don't know what his entertainment is, but
It says $80 for entertainment.
what? Oh, $80. I was looking at the wrong thing. You're right. $80. He could cut some out of entertainment, right? I don't know what he's doing for entertainment, but he could cut $10, $15 out of there. Anything else? Clothing, $73 a month. I don't spend $73 a month on clothing, but I guess I spend it, twice a year or something like that. I buy some clothes. You can maybe chintz a little more.
He doesn't need to be so fat to cut down on food.
Could cut down on the food. $200 is not a lot to spend on food.
I'm just kidding.
I know. Mind you, though, I shop for 5 people. You know what I
He
mean.
has a house.
He has a house. He's not going to cut that up. I would suggest actually he can pick up some more shifts to make up that money. $30. That's 3 hours. Well, 4 hours of work with taxes taken off. You pick up 4 hours of work doing something else. That'd be the easiest way to come up with the money. Work a little more. Anyways, you guys will be in a situation where you're gonna have to solve some of these things. I hope you're in a situation where you figure out how to budget and come up with the right amount of money. Last thing, and then we'll turn you guys loose. Rochelle's budgeted income and expenses are shown below. She wants to replace her car in a year. She expects she'll be able to sell her old car for $1,500. Assuming she saves any extra income, how much money will she have for a new car? So, what's her monthly income? She regular pay $1,100. Tutoring and babysit. So, just to add this up, 11, with the 300 is 14, 15, 16, 50. I already heard Zach do that, right? So her total income is $1,650. And her expenses, if you add them up, I have it added up, is $1,205. No sense. She's actually saving up a pretty good chunk of change. Because, how much does she save per month? Subtract your income and expense. Yeah. $445. This girl's got it made. She's got more income than the other guy. She eats less, I see. $1,775. Less entertainment. More on gas there. Car insurance. So that's something they didn't put on the other one. You got to remember too. You buy a car, you're gonna pay $100 a month or something like that to put the plates on your car. Plus gas. Plus, you got to save up oil changes, any repairs, tires, and stuff like that. All of a sudden, bang. Sometimes, when you think about it, I don't know you guys, but between a bus pass and taxis, would you spend more than $300 a month on transportation in the city? As long as you're not needing to get out of the city and stuff like this. Sometimes a car ain't really that great. Sure, it's way more convenient, but you can spend a lot less. I remember talking to my aunt about a car or whatever. Anyways, and I was like, do you really spend that much? Like, to go to Safeway and stuff like this once a week? Anyways, she'd save $445 a month. What does she need for a car then? Her total savings over a year? Years savings times 12, right? 12 times 445. And that lady will $53.40. And if she sells her car, how much will she have to spend on a car? You could buy a pretty decent car for $6,000. So that's how much she could spend for a new car. Now, here's the crappy part about buying a new car. Then you forget. You still got, maybe the license plates will go up from that other car. There's all kinds of other expenses then included. And you go to a dealership and they'll say that the price is $6,800. Then you got some extra price, some financing fee or something. Well, I guess she's not financing. But you watch out, they add on prices all of a sudden. So make sure you know what you're in for. But there you go. Now the math part of this stuff ain't tough. In this last unit, it's nothing new. It's more of this kind of stuff. Is a paycheck, income or expense. Identified, that's pretty easy going. Then try some of this. Another person's savings. This won't take too long. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to sit down with Tia in a second here.